Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. You ready to get into something really interesting today?
Always.
It's SNEK.
Okay.
This token's been slithering all over the Cardano blockchain. It seems like everyone in crypto is talking about it.
Yeah, they are. And for good reason, I think. There's just so much going on with SNEK beyond, the typical meme coin stuff.
Exactly. And that's what we are going to dive into today. We're going to look beyond the surface and try to figure out what makes it tick, what's the hype all about, what's real, what's maybe not so real.
Right.
I've been looking into it, and I have to admit, I'm pretty impressed with what I'm seeing. So to get us started, one of the things that really jumps out is just how popular SNEK has become. It is now the most traded token on the entire Cardano network.
Yeah, it's incredible to see how quickly it's risen to the top.
Hmm.
Like, you think about how many tokens are on Cardano, it's a really competitive space. And the fact that SNEK is the most traded really says something.
It really does. And not only that, but it's also become the most valuable token on the network too, which
Yeah.
kind of blew my mind.
I know, it's surprising, right?
Yeah. But I have to admit, looking into it, I did run into some conflicting information, particularly when it comes to the supply numbers. Some sources are saying there are billions of SNEK tokens out there, but those numbers seem to vary depending on where you look. So I'm a bit confused. Can you help us make sense of this? What's the deal with these supply numbers?
Yeah. So this is where it's really important to understand the difference between total supply and circulating supply.
Okay.
So when we talk about total supply, we're talking about every single SNEK token that has ever been created.
Mm,
But that doesn't necessarily mean all of those tokens are actively being traded on the market.
right.
So it's kind of like, imagine a rare comic book collection. There might be a certain number printed, but only a small percentage of those are actually out there circulating, changing hands. And so when you're looking at sources like CoinMarketCap, for instance, they're typically reporting the circulating supply, which in SNEK's case is somewhere around 74.4 billion tokens.
Yeah.
And that's the number that really matters for investors because it helps us understand the actual market value.
Gotcha. So that's the number we should be paying attention to, not necessarily that total supply number that we see floating around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That circulating supply is what's actually out there impacting the price. And when you start factoring in SNEK's deflationary mechanisms, we'll then understand that circulating supply becomes even more important.
Okay. Then you're just throwing out big words here. Deflationary mechanisms, I
Yeah.
have to admit, I'm intrigued. What does that even mean? And how does it affect the value of SNEK for someone like me who's, just trying to wrap their head around all of this?
Yeah, so in simple terms, deflationary just means that the total supply of SNEK is designed to decrease over time. And they do this through a couple of interesting mechanisms. The first one is by burning a portion of the transaction fees every time SNEK is traded. So essentially, a small percentage of those fees are permanently removed from circulation.
Interesting. So it's kind of like they're constantly taking a little bite out of that pie and making the remaining pieces a bit more valuable.
Exactly. And then the second mechanism is even more interesting. They actually use 80% of their project revenue to buy back SNEK tokens on the open market. And then they burn those too.
Wait, so they're using their own profits to reduce the number of tokens in circulation? That's pretty wild. Why would they do that?
It's a strategy that's designed to increase the scarcity of the token. And as we know, when something becomes more scarce, it tends to become more valuable.
Right, supply and demand 101.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's been some pretty significant burns already. For example, in December of 2024, the SNEK community burned 21 million tokens, which at the time were worth over $136,000. So you can see how these mechanisms can have a real impact.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture here. So they're burning tokens to potentially increase the value. But we all know that a token is only as strong as the community behind it.
Right.
Let's face it, SNEK's community is massive. They've got over 30,000 holders, and they're incredibly active. From hosting ADA raffles to throwing those infamous burn parties, it's wild. What's your take on this level of community engagement?
I think it's one of SNEK's greatest strengths,
Mm,
honestly, especially in the world of meme coins. A strong community can make or break a project.
for sure.
And with SNEK, it's not just about the numbers. It's the energy and the enthusiasm. They're not just holding tokens. They're actively participating in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, those burn parties. It's not just about destroying tokens. It's about creating a shared experience, building hype, reinforcing that sense of belonging within the community.
Right. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It is. The community's enthusiasm fuels the project's growth,
Yeah.
which in turn further energizes the community. It's a powerful cycle.
And that's what really sets SNEK apart from a lot of other meme coins out there. It's not just a joke. It's not just about speculation. They're actually building something tangible. But I'm curious what really stood out to you when you were researching SNEK?
Well, aside from the community,
Yeah.
I think the SNEK energy drinks were a big surprise.
The energy drinks, really?
Yeah, it's like I never expected a meme coin to have its own line of energy drinks.
Yeah.
But they do, and they're actually pretty good.
Wait a minute. So they're not just slapping a logo on a generic energy drink. This is a real product.
Oh, yeah. They're low calorie.
Yeah.
They come in these cool 12 packs, and they're not even that expensive.
Yeah.
I've seen them online going for between $35 and $45.
Wow. I have to admit, I'm impressed. They're thinking outside the box here.
Hmm.
So they've got the energy drinks, but they're also building this platform called SNEK. Fun, right?
That's right.
Which is basically a launch pad for creating new meme coins on Cardano.
Exactly. And it's been incredibly popular. It launched in September 2024. And within weeks, they had over 20,000 users signing up to create their own meme coins.
So they're not just creating a meme coin. They're creating a whole ecosystem for meme coins,
That's a great way to put it.
which is pretty incredible when you think about it. I mean, they're empowering others to join in on the fun.
Exactly. And it all ties back to their mission of making crypto more accessible.
Right. Because they're also making it easier to actually trade those new meme coins, too. They've partnered with Dex Hunter to develop this Telegram trading bot called SNEK bot.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
So it's like they're thinking about the whole process from creation to trading, making it simpler for everyone to get involved.
Yeah, it's a really smart strategy,
Yeah.
especially for attracting new people to the Cardano ecosystem.
And speaking of making things easy, they've got this other platform called SNEX, where you can apparently create Cardano tokens in seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Is it really that simple, though? Or is there more to it than meets the eye?
Well, from what I've seen, it's designed to be incredibly user-friendly.
Yeah.
You can literally create a token and launch it on the Cardano blockchain with just a few clicks.
Wow, that's amazing. So you don't need to be some kind of coding wizard to get started.
Nope. They've made it super accessible, which again aligns with their overall vision of empowering anyone to become a creator in this space.
It's like they're democratizing the whole process of creating and launching tokens, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely. And it all connects back to their SNEK, Fun Launchpad, providing a seamless pathway for bringing new meme coins to life.
So they're creating a whole ecosystem. It's amazing. But they're not stopping there. They've also gotten involved in media production with this thing called SNEX on Chain, right?
You're right. SNEX on Chain is a media production incubator that's funded by Cardano's Catalyst program.
Okay, I'm not too familiar with Catalyst. What is that exactly?
So Catalyst is a community-driven initiative that supports projects that benefit the Cardano ecosystem. It's basically a way for the Cardano community to decide how to allocate funds to different projects.
Interesting. So it's like a decentralized funding mechanism.
Exactly. And SNEX on Chain received funding through Catalyst to support media production and educational initiatives within the community.
It's fascinating how they're branching out into content creation.
Yeah, it shows that they're thinking about the bigger picture. It's not just about the technology or the price of the token. It's about building a community and supporting the growth of the Cardano ecosystem as a whole.
Absolutely. And they've also got their ecosystem fund and DAO, which is pretty impressive. They've dedicated 1.5 million ADA to support startups and projects within the SNEK community,
That's right.
which shows a real commitment to fostering innovation within their ecosystem. Can you explain what a DAO is, though, for those who might not be familiar with the term?
Sure. So a DAO stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. And it's basically a way for a community to govern a project or a fund in a decentralized way.
So it's like a community-run investment fund.
Exactly. And in SNEK's case, it's a way for the community to decide how to allocate that 1.5 million ADA to support different projects.
So it's like they're putting the power in the hands of the community.
Exactly. It's a very community-driven approach, which is consistent with everything else they're doing.
But let's be real here. As exciting as all this sounds, SNEK is still a meme coin at the end of the day. And meme coins are known for their wild price swings. So let's talk numbers. What's the current state of the SNEK market? How is it actually performing?
So according to ccn.com, SNE hit an all-time high back in November 2024, and its market cap actually surged by 65% in just 1 week.
Wow, that's some serious volatility.
It is. And as of February 2025, its market cap is sitting around $345 million.
Okay, so it's definitely making waves. But for someone who's considering investing in SNEK, what should they know about the potential risks? I mean, this market is notoriously unpredictable.
Yeah, it's important to remember that meme coins by their very nature are susceptible to huge price fluctuations.
Okay.
And SNEK is no exception. Data from BitDegree shows that SNEK's all-time high is 0.008955, but its all-time low is only 0.0001385.
Wow, That's a huge difference.
It is. And it highlights the importance of approaching any investment with caution. Do your research, understand the risks, and only invest what you can afford to lose.
Sound advice. But there's one more thing that I want to address before we move on. Some sources have pointed out that a SNEK doesn't actually have a formal team or a clear roadmap. How does that factor into their potential for success or even failure?
That's a really interesting point. And it's something that potential investors definitely need to consider. Because on the one hand, this lack of centralized leadership has fostered a sense of community ownership, and it's driven some pretty impressive organic growth.
Right.
But on the other hand, it raises questions about long-term sustainability and direction. Can Sinki maintain this momentum and continue to innovate without a clear plan or a dedicated team steering the ship?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's almost like they're building a plane while they're flying it, relying on the collective wisdom and passion of their community to guide their trajectory.
Exactly. And it's a risky strategy, but it's also what makes SNEK so unique and so fascinating to watch.
It really is, and it's a reminder that the world of cryptocurrency is constantly evolving. What starts as a joke or a meme can sometimes evolve into something much bigger. But as we head into the next part of our SNEK deep dive, the question remains, can they defy the odds and build something truly sustainable?
Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, they've already proven that they're not afraid to push boundaries and challenge conventions.
Absolutely. SNEK is a case study in what happens when a community comes together with a shared vision and a little bit of that meme magic.
I like that meme magic. It's a good way to put it.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll delve even deeper into the SNEK ecosystem and explore the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. So, stay tuned.
Welcome back. We're still swimming in the SNEK pond, trying to figure out if this is just a meme or something much, much bigger. Right before the break, we were talking about how SNEK doesn't actually have a formal team or roadmap, which is pretty unusual.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique approach. I mean, it's like they're building the plane while they're flying it, you know. Exactly. And so far, it seems to be working. I mean, they've got the energy drinks, they've got SNEK, fun. But without a clear roadmap, how do potential investors assess the risk? It's not your typical investment scenario.
It's definitely not for the faint of heart. You're absolutely right. For those who are used to traditional markets, SNEK might seem like a complete gamble. But for others, that decentralized, community-driven approach, that's what makes it so appealing.
So it's like a high risk, high reward kind of thing.
Exactly. It's like a radical experiment in trust and collaboration,
Yeah.
fueled by memes and the potential of Cardano.
It's interesting how it all ties back to Cardano's values. I mean, Cardano is known for its focus on sustainability, security, social impact.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think those values are attracting a certain type of investor or developer to SNEK?
I think so. Yeah, definitely. Cardano has positioned itself as this more thoughtful and responsible blockchain. And I think that resonates with a lot of people who are looking for projects that align with their own values. And SNEK, with its emphasis on community, its efforts to bridge that gap between the digital and the real world, it kind of fits that mold, you know?
Yeah. It's almost like they're trying to prove that a meme coin can be more than just a meme.
Right. It's not just about making a quick buck. It's about building something that has real value and utility.
But let's be realistic for a second. The meme coin space is notoriously volatile. I mean, how do you reconcile SNEK's ambition with the fact that this market is so unpredictable?
Well, it's definitely a balancing act.
Yeah.
On the one hand, they're building real-world utility with the energy drinks, with SNEK, fun, even their media incubators. All of these things could potentially generate revenue, attract new users, add stability to the SNEK ecosystem.
Right. Well, we've seen it before. Meme coins can rise and fall just as quickly based on hype cycles, social media trends. Can SNEK maintain its momentum even if the initial hype fades away?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's where the strength and engagement of their community becomes so important. If they can foster that sense of long-term commitment, and if they continue to innovate, they might just be able to transcend that typical meme coin trajectory.
So it's like they're trying to build a rocket ship with a grassroots movement.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
Yeah.
It's definitely an uphill battle. But they've already achieved so much that it's hard to count them out.
It's a fascinating experiment to watch, and it just goes to show you that the world of cryptocurrency is constantly evolving. What starts as a joke or a meme can sometimes turn into something with real impact. But as we head into the final part of our SNEK deep dive, the question remains, can they defy the odds and build something truly sustainable?
That's what we're all waiting to see. It's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out.
Welcome back to the show. It feels like we've been slithering through this SNEK ecosystem for hours now, trying to figure out where it all leads.
It's a winding path, That's for sure.
But it's been a fascinating journey. We've covered so much ground from their crazy community to their real-world products and even their lack of a formal team. And now it all comes down to this. Is SNEK a glimpse into the future of meme coins, or is it just another flash in the pan? What do you think?
Honestly, it's the question everyone's asking, right? They've really pushed the boundaries of what a meme coin can be. I mean, the energy drinks, the launch pad, the media incubator, it's all so unexpected.
You know, when I first heard about SNEK, I thought, okay, another meme coin trying to ride the hype wave.
Yeah.
But the more I've learned about it, the more I see the potential for something much bigger.
I get that. What really stands out to you?
I think it's their commitment to building utility. That SNEK. Fun Launchpad is a stroke of genius. It's not just about creating another meme coin, they're empowering others to get involved. And that SNEK bot, making trading easier for newcomers, it shows that they're thinking about accessibility.
Yeah. And you can't forget about SESNIX on-chain. It's not just about the tech. It's about building a community and fostering a culture of education around Cardano.
Right. And it all comes back to that incredible community. They're the ones driving all of this. The burn party spreading the word. It's like a decentralized marketing machine.
True. But the question is, can they keep that momentum going? Meme coins rely so heavily on hype, and hype can be fleeting.
That's the challenge. But what if SNIC's community is more than just hype? What if it's a movement? A shared belief in the power of decentralized, community-driven projects. Could that be the key to their long-term success?
It's possible. We've seen other crypto projects succeed because of strong community support. But Snake is doing things differently. Their lack of a formal team or roadmap, it makes them an anomaly. It's a high-risk, high-reward approach.
So for our listeners out there, what does this all mean? If you're thinking about investing in SNIC, what should you keep in mind?
Well, first of all, do your research. Don't just take our word for it. Dig into their website, explore their community forums, read independent analyses. Remember, meme coins are inherently volatile, and SNIC is no exception. Invest wisely, only what you can afford to lose.
Solid advice. So if you do decide to jump into the SNEK pond, stay informed and get involved with that community. The future of SNEK depends on them.
It really does. It's an experiment in progress, and we're all watching to see what happens. Whether SNEK succeeds or fails, they've already shaken things up. They've shown us that innovation can come from unexpected places, and community can be incredibly powerful.
And that's what makes the crypto world so exciting. It's constantly evolving, always full of surprises. So as we wrap up our deep dive into SNEK, we leave you with this thought. Stay curious, stay informed, and never underestimate the power of a good meme. Who knows? The next big thing might just start as a joke.
And on that note, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into SNEK. We'll see you next time.